Welcome to this week's Powerback episode. This is number 147. And if you are a regular listener, welcome back. If you're a new listener, just so you know, Powerback episodes are like micro coaching sessions with me, 20-minute episodes to get into your brain hole to help you recognize maybe something that you're stuck in, something that is calling towards you, something to help you take the next step forward to get a little bit closer to where you truly want to be. And if you're finding that these micro sessions together are working really well, but you need one step further, I offer one-on-one coaching. So we can do one or two things. We can do a 90-minute alignment session, which is going to get the answers that you're looking for very quickly. Or if we are looking to expand and to grow and to really shift the way that you are doing life and or business, then I have ongoing coaching programs. So if that is of interest, you're finding value in the Powerback sessions, but you want to go a little bit deeper, go to LauraAura.com, book a discovery call. It's 30 minutes, you and me talking together. If I'm the right fit, amazing. If not, I am always dedicated to getting you on to your next success. So today we're talking about having fun. Now, I know you might say, Laura, oh yeah, I have fun. I do things that bring me joy. Okay. I'm certain that you do at least something that is fun. At least I'm hoping so. But what I'm talking about is the fun that you really want to let loose and have, but your mind starts to take over. It starts to tell you why you shouldn't and how you don't have enough time and how people are looking. Like, this is the fun that actually fuels your fucking soul. I want to ask you today, when is the last time that you truly allowed yourself to have fun without reason, without overthinking, without obligation, and without holding back a part of you? Look, you don't need my permission to have fun. In fact, you don't need anybody's permission, but your brain likes to tell you otherwise. This episode is about giving you the permission that you don't need, but you might need to hear today. Because here's the truth. You're not allowing yourself to be the fullest version of you. I know that because the majority of the population is operating like that. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say, if you were truly having the most fun that you could possibly have in this world, you probably wouldn't be listening to this episode. I want to normalize this shit though, because this is how the world is operating right now. And quite frankly, has for a very long time. And then we go down the rabbit hole of women and the responsibilities that you have and the expectations that are put on top of you and just this weight of the world that you're carrying around on a regular basis. Not having fun is making all that weight 10,000 times heavier. It's like in this world, you were taught that you need to sit down and shut up and be quiet. You need to contain your bigness. You need to fit inside of a mold. You need to be a caretaker. You need to make sure that everyone's needs around you are met before your own, that you get what is left. We all know what happens when you get what is left. There's nothing left. You're tired. You're exhausted. You don't have the energy to do anything fun. In fact, going out to do something, leaving your house exhausts you before you even get to it. Like, this is not the way that you were intended to live and to operate. This is not the way that your spirit and your energy source and your soul was meant to be used. Now, look, you can take care of the people around you. I love my family more than anything. But I also know that if I don't care for myself, if I don't fill my own cup, if I don't create my own joy, I get lost in it. You want to have fun, but there's no energy left. And that right there is a shift that has to be made within. That is an area where you get to take your power back and say, you know what? Taking care of myself, filling my own tank, and fucking laughing for once is necessary. This is not some joyful thing that we get to do once a month for ourselves. This is not some self-care tactic. This is a non-negotiable. But my friend, this is where I get blunt with you. If you do not make time for it, if you do not say yes to it, if you do not start to shift the patterns and the habits that you're so used to, the fun's not going to show up on your front doorstep. I want to tell you a quick story. I recently took myself on a solo trip to Miami, partially because it's January and I live in Pennsylvania and the cold winter months make me really fucking sad. Partially because I'm a Sagittarius and travel just does something magical to me, but mostly because I needed to reconnect. I was just feeling really depleted after the holidays, and I know for myself that adventure, seeing new things, and sunshine, who would have thought vitamin D really does work, that all of those things really add value to my life. It helps me to refill my tank. And so over the years, I've learned to say yes to myself. I've learned that when I need to refill, that I need to give myself permission to do it. And so weeks before my trip, I was overthinking it. I was trying to talk myself out of it. I was coming up with every reason in the book. In fact, my husband was like, I feel like you're trying to find a reason to not go. And I was like, fuck, you're right. I am trying to find an excuse to not go. And that's what we do. We try to find a reason to not enjoy something. We look around and see what everyone else is doing. We look and see, well, that might happen. And so therefore I need to be here and I need to be around and I can't do this for myself. I went to Miami. I fought myself until I got on that fucking airplane. And I tell you, I don't regret a second of it. And what I wanted to do on that trip was allow myself to just play, to have fun, to reimagine what life is all about, because like you get stuck in your routine. You're running a business, you're going to work, you're taking care of the people around you, you've got a house to take care of, the car's got this going on. Like there's a million things are always going to be happening, right? You can't stop those things, but you can start investing in you. As I got there, this is the first time that I've traveled alone for leisure, like just because. And I'm walking around and I'm looking at all these beautiful things, and I'm really into art and culture and just seeing environments. And I'm walking around, I'm like, okay, what if I go into that interesting museum? It's called Paradox. So it was like these oddities, like the way that you see things is not quite the way that they actually are. And so it was just like, it's like a fun house, right? And so my mind immediately was like, oh, I would want to do this with my husband and my son, and so therefore I shouldn't do it. There's the key. Should or shouldn't. That's the indicator when your brain is trying to tell you, like, hey, I don't want to do this because I'm scared. That's where you need to be consciously aware of what is happening in your brain and what those thoughts are trying to tell you. So I go into this museum, and it's very hands-on. It's interactive. Like you work with the displays and you touch things and you look at things. And I looked at, there was like this fun house mirror thing where you lay. I have a picture on my Instagram. If you go over, I'm at that LauraAura, where you lay down on this house thing on the ground, but then there are mirrors, and so therefore it looks like you're hanging upside down. And at first I was like, oh no, like, I'm too old to do that, and I'll do that later, and that's not for me. And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I am here to enjoy myself. I am here to experiment, and I'm here to get inspired and just kind of let loose. So I allowed myself to play on this house with the mirror, and I got this silly picture. And you know what? I laughed and I smiled. And then I went through other exhibits and I did this mirror thing where you like stand and it looks like you're at an angle. And then there was a funhouse mirror portion and this tube that you walk through that, had all this movement. And my point is, I played. I had fun. And I had fun by myself. I was like, oh, I'm by myself and no one else is going to enjoy. Why does someone else have to be there? Your joy and your happiness must start within. And that starts with saying yes to yourself, to allowing yourself to experiment and look silly. Look, most of what's stopping you from having fun is the worry of what everyone else is going to think. Oh, she looks stupid. Oh, why would she do that? Why would she dress like this? Why would she dance like that? Oh, look, there's a grown ass woman by herself in a museum. Oh, look at her having fun by herself. What is the problem with that? Like, if we stop and ask ourselves, why does that matter? Why does it matter what they think? Because my guess is if they're judging you for having fun, they're not having very much fun on their own now, are they? You get the urge to have fun. You want to get out on that dance floor and dance like a maniac at that wedding or at that business event. But then what happens? You start to look around. Who else is doing it? who might be watching. You start listening to that voice in your head that's like, oh, maybe the next song I'll go out, or maybe I need another drink to be able to let loose. That could be a whole topic of discussion on its own, my friend. Look, the only reason that you have fun when you're wasted or a little bit tipsy is because it's letting out the version of you that you keep contained. You can have fun, not end up with a hangover the next day. So I have learned. You start thinking about your reputation and what you look like and what other people are thinking. And eventually you allow that to stop you. And that is robbing you of your pure joy and happiness. More often than not, the people that you're around, you're never going to see again. And for the people that you are going to see again, what's it matter if they see you having fun? Okay, so maybe you do look silly while you're dancing. Why does it matter? Does looking silly while you're dancing make you any less of a business owner, any less of a spouse, any less of a mother, any less of a caretaker, any less of a leader? Does your joy mean that you are less, or does your joy mean that you are allowing more? Here's what I learned about that little experiment in that fun house. When I left, I felt so much better. I was laughing with myself. I got some super cool pictures and videos. I met some random ass strangers that I laughed with in this place. Like these people, I never would have had contact with these people before in my life. Imagine if I would have just walked through this museum and kept to myself and not touched anything and didn't do any of the exhibits. I would have been bitter because I didn't get my money's worth. And I wouldn't have seen and met all of these incredible people. When I left, I felt better. When I went in, I was like kind of dense and heavy and questioning and doing all this stuff. And when you stop and you recognize what you are doing in your own mind with your own self, and you're like, what if I try? What if I just do this one thing? What, like that, breaking open the seal of doing that little house fun mirror thing opened up. So I was like, okay, that was fun. And my body was like, we enjoyed that. Let's do more of it. And that's really all it takes, is giving yourself that first little piece of permission, that little taste that, yes, I'm going to go dance a little bit to this song on the dance floor. The, yes, I'm interested in painting and I might suck at it, but I want to do it. So I'm going to go take a class. The, yes, I'm interested in meditation. So I'm going to get on YouTube and try a few things. Yes, I like meeting new people. So I'm going to go to that local meetup. Like it's literally about just that first initial yes that builds the momentum that gives you the courage to do more. I think a lot of times the reason that we don't allow ourselves to really truly have fun and play is because we're looking at the big pictureness of it, right? Like to think about like dancing your face off on that dance floor feels really overwhelming. But what feels less overwhelming is getting up out of your chair and walking to the dance floor. And then once you're on the dance floor, shimmying around a little bit. And then, that next song comes on and you start really feeling it in your bones and you start letting loose. And then another song comes on and there are 3 more people around you. And all of a sudden there's this vibe and there's this energy and you have completely let go of what everyone else around you is thinking, saying, or maybe even imagining in their brains. That's the point. That's the point of the release, when your soul gets to go, "Oh, I am so thankful. Right now, we are not thinking about our responsibilities or our role or the expectations that I have on myself or that the world has on me. Right now, I am simply being." Your soul wants a break, my friend. Your soul wants you to laugh. Your soul wants you to enjoy life because look, when you start to infuse pure joy and happiness and fun in your life on a regular basis, you are infusing a whole different level of happiness in your life. It allows you to lower your stress and be able to do the things in your world with so much more ease because you're not pouring from something empty all the time. Think of it like running a race, whether you're athletic or not. If you are running for long periods of time, stopping for a hot second and putting water and fluid and hydration back in your body allows you to go further, longer. And that's what joy is in your life. It's like a pit stop that says, you know what? We can keep going. I have more to give now. I have more stamina. I have more inner peace, which allows me to be a better version of myself for myself and for those around me. It helps to clear your mind. All that blah, 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 blah shit that happens to your brain on a regular basis, those conversations that you're having with yourself that no one else can see and feel, that starts to get quiet. When you're truly having fun, all of that mental chaos, it just stops. It's like your brain and your body and your mind and your soul are all reunited and aligned as one. And you can truly be in the moment. You're not thinking about yesterday. You're not worried about tomorrow. You're simply there. And it helps you to be more connected, like more connected with yourself, more connected with your intuition and your wants and your desires, and like the things that you were forgetting, all of a sudden, like you're remembering again. And the people that you haven't talked to in a really long time, all of a sudden you're re-engaging with them. If you run a business, it's like all of a sudden your clarity and your desire and your motivation starts to come back to you. When you have fun, you are bettering yourself. You're bettering your life and you're bettering the lives of the people around you. Everything actually gets to be easier when you stop fighting who you naturally are. Your money gets to be better. Your health gets to be better. Your relationships get to be better. And my friend, the inner peace that you are seeking and have so much desire for gets to be yours. So, what if today, here's my challenge for you. Here is your power back moment. Take 10 or 15 minutes today. Take a walk, sit somewhere that brings you joy or peace, and journal out or write down what makes you happy. Like, when is the last time you asked yourself, what feels fun to me? I find that a lot of the women that I work with aren't even sure anymore. So, to get back to having fun in your life first starts with reconnecting with who you are and what you desire. What has brought you joy in the past? What's something that you did in the past that was super fun, that brought you a lot of joy and you laughed a lot and it brought just like a lot of happiness into your life? What's something that's been calling you lately? Maybe it is that paint class or a cooking class or learning yoga or going on a trip with a friend. And the next time that you feel that tug to let loose, you feel that tug to have fun and to laugh and to let down the guard, notice the very second that your brain starts to try to talk you out of it. Sometimes people find it helpful to name that voice or that thing as something else. Like, okay, Marcy, I hear you. I see that you don't want me to do this, but my curiosity wants to take over today. That's what all of this boils down to, is leaning into your curiosity, that tug that your soul is like, oh, this feels like it could be so much fun. What if, what if we allowed ourselves to do it today? Because here's the thing, at the very end of the day, the only thing and person stopping you from truly doing things that bring you a lot of joy and fun in your life is you. People are forever going to have thoughts and opinions. There's always going to be somebody watching you. So that variable is not changing. The variable that can change, however, is your decision. Your decision to lean into and believe their maybe thoughts about how you look and what you're doing. Like, most of it's fucking made up, right? Like, they might not even be looking at you saying like, oh, who does she think she is? They might be looking at you going, wow, that person's having a lot of fun and I wish that I could do the same thing. I always find that when I allow myself to have fun and really let loose, it inspires the people around me to do the same thing. And that's fucking powerful, because now you're creating a domino effect of awesomeness. So maybe you just flip the perspective, and it takes some time. You're going to have to talk yourself into it. This is not just like a, oh, yeah, let's flip the switch and everything's perfect. Like, the realest moment of this is catching yourself when Marcy, or whatever you name the voice in your head, tries to stop you. Because when you have awareness, you have knowledge, and knowledge is power to make a different decision in the moment. So, this is your calling, my friend, to start having more fun in your life. I found that the level of fun and joy that you're having in life equates to the success, the happiness, and the peace in your world. So, if things aren't where you want it to be right now, maybe that's a calling to have a little bit more fun in life. And if you are where you want to be, but are ready to go to the next level, some fun can help you get there too. I'd love to hear how you are having fun. So come over to Instagram or TikTok and DM me and tell me something that you did that you wouldn't have normally allowed yourself to do, but you did this week. And bonus points if you find the picture of me playing on that house with the mirrors. It's super fun. It's on my Instagram account. Leave me some emojis and I'll know that you listened to this episode. Speaking of fun, next Tuesday's episode, number 148, is about giving creativity space to breathe. Creativity loves to be able to free roam and to have inspiration around it. So I have Kate Carmen on, and we're talking about how powerful that space really is. If you want first dibs when episodes air, go to LauraAura.com, go to the sign up for the newsletter section, put your email in there, and I will send you not only episodes of the Gutsy Podcast, but some tidbits of coaching guidance and advice to help you through your life and your business as well. Get social with me again on TikTok and Instagram. I am at that LauraAura. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.